Hela Province Governor Philip Undialu using Prime Minister power to do business. This intel is coming from the inside. Papua New Guinea businesses and state-owned enterprises compromised by Hela Governor using Prime Minister James Marape's power. Total abuse of Prime Minister power for self-interest. Hela Twin Towers were built on only 48 million kina, but was sold to Hela Investments for 380 million kina during the eve of the last VONC, when PMJM authorized Undialu to have direct access to development levies, which is 120 million kina annually, IDGs K 68 million annually, etc. This was the arrangement made using Prime Minister power for Undialu to have direct diversion of funds from Treasury and Finance to the Hea Investments Accounts, and is used by Hela Governor and Administrator as the chairman with 100% discretion. That's without financial audits from Finance or Ombudsman. Because Prime Minister Marape needs money to hold back the MPs after PITA breaks off, Undialu used PITA to put stress on Prime Minister Marape to forcefully authorize the transfer of funds from Finance and Treasury to Hela Investments. PITA was the finance minister that time, and was Undialu man on this game. PITA and Undialu had the deals and played Prime Minister Marape using threats to break off. After the payments transferred to Hela Investments, Undialu strike another deal with the Chinese company that built the Hela 1 and 2 buildings. To make all the transfers and overpriced payments successful, a China bank branch was bought in a PNG by Prime Minister James Marape and Undialu to set up at Stanley Hotel. This temporary setup was made so as to make internal transfers of funds from BSB to China Bank easier and more internal, so these Chinese can give back Hela Governor and Prime Minister's cuts on the overpriced 380 million kina. After the transactions were successful, this China bank set up at Stanley Hotel shut down and left PNG. They operate only for a few months and left. The shortest bank set up in PNG for this overpriced cuts and deals with these Chinese companies in PNG. First VONC with Peter O'Neill was successful because of Undialu using Direo Power overpriced payments to back PMJM on buying MPs. 450 million investment on Direo Power, overpriced payments using landowners' trust funds and Hela provincial government funds in the name of business investments. Overpriced payments were masterminded by Augustine Mano and Jeff Lawrence by creating 2020 Energies in Singapore on the same month of creating Direo Power to keep funds overseas and pay clients and contractors and handle all the overpriced payments transfer to Undialu's overseas and PNG companies. That time, when Kinoka Fio was Undialu's business manager buying properties in Cairns, Fiji, etc. PMJM won Peter O'Neill using the Direo Power funds and Hela provincial government funds, all masterminded by Undialu. Thus PMJM is enslaved to Undialu now and will listen to Undialu on business deals. The second VONC, PMJM survival, was on the sale of the Twin Towers at Waigani building for overpriced cuts. Was PITA and Undialu playing PMJM for business deals and cuts? Rainbow PITA was always with Undialu. His move to opposition was planned by Undialu to threaten PMJM to force payments on the development levies and IDGs, so Undialu can take it and use it in the name of political support to PM. PITA and Undialu planned this and played this along. Undialu was serving both sides of the house. He knew PMJM will break. PMJM had only 38 MPs when PITA left. Undialu also went to opposition secretly to be with PITA. PMJM lost the second VONC, but luckily it's the coalition parties from URP and others that bring in 28 more numbers, adding the government side up to 66, making PMJM survive the second VONC. PITA and Undialu played this along so well. After PMJM won, Undialu has to pull PITA back into the government within few weeks of being in opposition. How was the control on finance and treasury made so easy? The merge of the Finance and Treasury to only one minister by PMJM was the solution to this deals. PMJM knew this game, so he needs only one minister to run both Treasury and Finance. Thus, Rainbow Pida was the only minister that runs both Treasury and Finance, so that the transfer of those funds will be handled by himself smoothly and Undialu deals would be fast and smooth. After all deals and transfers made, Treasury and Finance got separated and two ministers were appointed. Why did Undialu bring Pida back into the government? Undialu brings Pida back into the government was purposefully to take over the SOE minister role held by Duma. Since Duma has the second highest number and has 100% rights to get SOE minister, Undialu and Pida planned this along to send Pida to opposition to create the second highest party from within PNG, so that after return, Pida can get on the SOE minister and they can team up to do business deals using SOE's assets and funds. Undialu's next plan was to buy PNG Power using Development Power, as well as to buy Puma Energy using Arafura Energies. This will only be successful if Pida is the SOE minister and PMJM is still in power. The only obstacle now is the SOE minister. Thus, Undialu is pushing for SOE minister to be replaced by Pida, and his two deals will be successful. What is Undialu and PMJM planning for 2027? Now that PMJM is forcing changes to KPHL, and some SOEs are all being pushed by Undialu. PMJM now trusts Undialu on making such business deals using political power. PM knew he and Undialu will need money in 2027, so their target now is the Croton equity in KPHL. Undialu and Maladina have been having secret deals in Brunei with the owner of Puma Energy to sell it to Arafura Energies, owned by Hela Investments. However, Arafura Energies due is to have the capital, and Undialu is now pushing MRDC to court with KPHL for the Croton equity. Undialu wants to leverage the Croton equity for Arafura Energies Ltd to buy Puma Energy in PNG. Since the court is in favor of KPHL and MRDC lost the case, Undialu pulled another string by using Malandina and Mano to expose fake accusations without evidence on KPHL using the Australian media, so as to force PMJM to make changes to the board chairman and KPHL's leadership. PMJM2 was playing this along to since it needs Undialu for 2027 election games. They have to secure this deals before the election. PMJM can't make changes forcefully by himself. Thus, Jimmy Maladina and Mano was used by Undialu and PMJM to use the Aussie media to make accusations on KPHL leadership, just to force their way in to change the chairman and the boards so that they can access the Croton equity for PNG people and landowners. That is what they have been playing to take over funds in KPHL using PM Power. Why PNG Power was declared bankrupt and wants Duma to go. The recent chain of events that took over last week's on PNG Power was masterminded by Undialu to have Duma changed and for Pida to take over. Now that PMJM made changes to KPHL and will surely get their hands on KPHL, the next setup was for Undialu to take control on SOEs using Pida. Their same game planes from Finance and Treasury when Pida was double minister for both departments. Undialu brings him back to government was to take on this SOEs. His target is to take a fuel and energy supply to SOEs like PNG Power, Air Niugini, etc. using Arafura Energies Ltd and Development Power. The game plan was to control all money and major utility businesses in PNG from office rentals, electricity, fuel, etc. Thus, controlling politicians using money power. Money is equal power.